So today we have another sketch here. This is this is Sunday Sketch SS007. I found a website where all the sketches are laid out from 1 on, so it's kind of easy for me to find them. And this is kind of a cute little sketch, I think. Everything seems to be well centered. So we have our card base, 5.5 by 8.5, and I'm actually using our Cinnamon Cider card base. I'm making a bit more of a masculine card today, my masculine colors. And then we have a piece that is 4 by 4 that fits right here in this area, and then a 2.5 by 3.25. And this could be your focal image, either some stamping or a greeting, or a piece of designer series paper. You could emboss it. And then there's another strip of paper here that's 1/2 by 4.25, but I'm going to use ribbon because I have this wonderful bumblebee ribbon that coordinates with this cardstock, and it's a gingham ribbon. I just love it, and it ties beautiful bows. So I'm going to use this ribbon instead, and I might wrap it around a couple of times. I decided to do what's called a tent fold card. So it is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and you score it down the center on the 8.5 inch side at 4.25, and then score it at 5.5. So you get this nice tent fold, and you can also turn it landscape, and you get this kind of a style of card, which is kind of cool too. I like having different card styles. So I'm just going to grab my bone folder and let's give this a little crease here. Okay, now the stamp set I'm using is called Enjoy the Moment. Now this stamp set we got for free when we attended the virtual event in November. So this is a really interesting stamp set. There were a lot of people in the beginning who thought, oh gosh, what do you do with that? It's kind of odd. But it's really cool because it's all of the seed pods from a variety of different plants. Now, I don't know all the plants. I know these are poppy pods, and I think these might be acorns. I'm not sure. But anyway, it's kind of cool. And when I was growing up in Montreal, we had a lot of maple trees. So this is one of those maple seed pods, and they used to flutter to the ground. It's kind of cool, and there's a few little seeds here. So you can, what people have been doing is making their own designer series paper with this, and just stamping all of these different images, you know, on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and then cutting it up and making cards with it. There's no coordinating dies, so if you want to fussy cut anything, then you can go ahead and do that. Now, we don't have a lot of stamping area for this card, but you could also do some on the inside. So I'm going to pull out, this is I've got a piece of this 4 by 5.25 inch white cardstock that I might do some stamping on the inside for the card. Okay, so what I thought I would do is I pulled out some designer series paper. We have the 6 by 6 inch designer series paper pack. This is called the Flowers for Every Season. I've put the description in as the comment for this live video, so you can see what I'm using. And this is a great pack of paper because it's got lots of different florals in here. And then some great backs. So they brought this paper pack out to coordinate with the brand new In Colors that came out last June with the new annual catalog. So the colors were Bumblebee, Cinnamon Cider, Just Jade, Magenta Madness, and Misty Moonlight. So they brought out these coordinating papers. So they're just, look at these tulips. I'm going to pull out my tulip stamp set and do some tulip cards. And then the backs are really cool too to coordinate. There's even a couple of Christmas papers there. Okay, so that's a great stamp set. Or sorry, paper pack, because it's really colorful. Lots you can do with that. And so I pulled out some of the papers here. So this is my 2.5 by 3.25 that we're going to stamp on. This is the 4x4 piece that's going to go here. So let me lay out my pieces to give you an idea of how I'm going to design my card, so that we've got this nice striping here. Then I'm going to do the ribbon along here, and then this is going to go on top. So it looks like this piece goes above this 4x4 piece a little bit. And of course, naturally, you can do whatever you want. Then I pulled out these papers. So this is what the backs look like, but I won't use the backs. But I'm going to use these pieces here, and I'm going to create my little flags. So we have this great punch. It's called the triple banner punch. And you cut your papers into 1 inch, 1.5 inch, and 2 inch widths. And then you can create these banners in here. Okay. So I'm going to probably do, I might do a 1 and a 1.5. I'll do 2 1s and then a 1.5 in here. Okay, so actually I'm not going to use this cutter. It's too small for this job. Let me pull out my bigger cutter. Okay, so I'm going to cut a 1 inch strip over here. What did I say I was going to do? 2 1 inch strips. I'll do 2 1 inch strips and then a 1.5 inch strip here. 1 and 1.5 on this side. Okay, and we'll be cutting those down a little bit shorter, of course, but I'm going to flag them. So this is how this punch works. It's really a cool punch. So you're going to do, so you put it in the track. See, this is the 1 inch track is at the bottom. So you just push it in as far as it will go. And you can see on the back how that works. Okay, but you can just lie it on your table and then punch it. So there's a flag. Isn't that cool? Really quick and easy. Creating, well, they call them banners. Creating banners is really popular in card making, so it's worthwhile to have a good punch that will do that quickly for you. So this is the next one at 1.5. Stick that in right at the end. And then punch that one. Okay? So there's your flags. Okay, and there's these little bits left over that you could put at the edge of your card too, like maybe on the inside of the card. So I think I'll hang on to those and see what we can do with that. And, all right, so let's decide to do some stamping here. So these are red rubber stamps, so we don't really need any other kind of sponginess on the bottom. So I'm just going to do like a bit of a pattern on the front. So when you are stamping to create a pattern on your paper, what you want to do is start with your larger images first. That's my inside. I'll do something with that. You start with your larger images, and then you fill in the white spaces with smaller images. Oh, geez, I forgot to turn off my notifications. Sorry about that. I always forget that. Okay, so this large poppy piece, I might just put right up in the middle and then stamp around the edges there, or I could do that on the inside of the card. Let me think. Maybe I'll do this one. Okay, so let's get out some acrylic blocks here. And the colors I'm going to use, I think I'm going to pull out some crumb cake. And I am going to pull out some of this cinnamon cider. I love this color. This color reminds me, and Carol, you might remember this, but I remember it was when we were going to Expo 67, when we used to go there. I remember wearing, I think they were called shirt dresses. You had one and I had one. And I remember mine, I thought it was this color. And it was, I think you had a print and mine was a solid color. Do you remember those shirt dresses? They were really cool. Okay, let's pull out this one. So we've got these two, and I might pull out this one. I mean, it's a really small area here, so I won't be able to use too many of these stamps. Let's pull out this smaller one here. Okay, and maybe we'll fit this in. I'm just going to mount them all up on my blocks and then decide what I'm going to do. And so another good color to use, okay, let me just think here. So let's start off with this one. We'll do some of these in this, we'll do one of, I don't know how many we're going to end up doing here. Oh, that's hard to open that ink pad. Okay, so let's just do, these do make the most amazing images, I have to say. Look at that, they're so detailed. So we'll do that, cinnamon cider. And then I think I want to bring in like a red. I'm going to bring in a Mary Merlot, I think. This is a beautiful color, maroon type of color, beautiful wine color. Merlot, color of wine. And we'll just stamp that like that. And these up here like that. Okay, let's fill in with this. This I might pull in the bumblebee color. This is a beautiful golden, well, the color of bumblebees. Okay, Carol's responded here. I remember mine was paisley with purple as the main color, kind of a brushed fabric. Yes, shirt dress with a tie. Match. Matching belt. Yes, it had a belt. Okay. Let's put another one in here. Maybe down in this corner. Like that. We've got this cute little, I might do this one in the crumb cake color. Because these were, I remember, kind of a beigey color, these pods. I'll put one there, and I'll have another one coming in here like that, and then maybe I'll do a third one over here like that. Okay, so you see how it's coming together, and make sure you stamp off the edges. Don't leave a white edge. It doesn't fare well. Okay, so we've got these little tiny pods here too. And you know what? Maybe I'll pull in a bit of that dark early espresso color. Let's pull this in. They're very cute. Yeah. So see, now you can come in and take one of your small images and you fill in the white pieces. Okay. I can fit that in there like so. Perfect. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. All right, so imagine if you had an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper and you just did this pattern all over. So typically what I do is I take my largest images and I might stamp it 3 times somewhere, then take the next size down, stamp it 3 times somewhere, etc., etc., and then take any of your small images and fill in your gaps, and then you cut it up. So you could simply cut it in 4 and then trim it down a bit to make your card fronts. And away you would go. So those are called one-sheet wonders, and they're lots of fun. Now, will this fit on this stamp, this acrylic block? Yes, it will. So let's do one in the middle, and I think I'm going to go back to, let me just put some of these away. I might come back to this cinnamon cider. Now, you could also, if you're so inclined, we have these Stampin' Write markers, okay? So these are watercolor brushes. They're different from these. These are our alcohol markers, okay? And these blend beautifully. These are not the best for coloring images, but they are fantastic for coloring over the actual rubber. So if you had a greeting that had 2 lines on it, you could do, you know, happy in this purple, for example, and then you could do birthday in another color, and you just rub over the image, then you give it a huff, and then you stamp it on your card. So even for this, you could color this. Maybe I'll show you how to do that, but you wouldn't use alcohol markers to color your stamps, okay? These are just for coloring in your images. So let's see, let's do the stem, maybe that darker brown. So I'll pull out this marker, and these come in every color, but you have to buy them in sets. You can't buy them individually. Okay, and let me pull in my cinnamon cider one. So what I'm going to do, so see, you turn it over, and there's 2 ends. There's a brush end and a fine line or a fine point that you can use to write with. And so you just take this, and I use the side of the brush, and I just brush over. Okay, and if you're going to overlap your colors, always start with your lightest color first. And then the trick to this is you have to add some moisture back onto the stamp before you stamp it down on your paper, okay? So you see I'm going to do some dark on these top bits, like that. You see, so you could color in, and you could even just add a bit of, you know, texture, okay? And then I'm going to do the stem in the dark. So you just color your stamps like this. Okay, now the key, excuse me, the key is here now is before I stamp it down, I need to blow, not blow on it, you kind of huff, you open your mouth and do a big breath out. And then you stamp. This is a great technique. There you go. Check that out. You see, you can even see the darker bits that I brushed in there. So isn't that cool? And if you wanted, you could go and fill in the white bits if you wanted to, but I'm not. I'm going to leave it like that. I kind of like that. Excuse me. Let me grab a sip of water. Okay. And I would do, yeah, I'm going to do the same thing on my envelope, which I'm going to pull out now. Let me just grab an envelope. Oh my gosh, I just noticed there's 2 big fat birds in the water bath. Just having a great time. Flicking water everywhere. Okay, so here's my envelope. So I'm going to do the same thing. Now, you could clean this ahead of time. So I'm just going to pull in my cleaning pad here. Let's clean that off, and then we'll do it again. So I'm starting with my lighter color. So I'm going to do the pods. Here. Okay, then I'm going to pull in the darker early espresso, do those top bits. And then color the stems. I'll put a few flicks in here. And I'm going to huff again, and I'm going to do the side of my envelope. I'm going to just turn this sideways. I'm going to leave room for the return address at the top left and just stamp it down. There you go, and there's your envelope. Okay? Always decorate your envelope. And I often will stamp something on here as well. Or another idea is you can actually put some designer series paper on there, which is really cool. Okay, so let's start assembling my card. So let's set that aside, and let's find my card base. And let's pull back the sketch so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to just get rid of some of these ink pads, so I have room here. Okay, so here is the front of my card, and this piece is going to be glued down like so. So let me pull in my silicone mat, and then now always double check to make sure your card is opening the right way. And we're just going to put this down at the bottom, like so. Now, to do the ribbon, I don't like, and I could wrap the ribbon around to the inside here for this card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it join here because we're going to be putting this on top. So I'm going to start here. I'm not doing a bow. I'm just going to wrap the ribbon around the card. I could have started that with a glue dot. I'm just going to kind of do this kind of a thing. So I'm going to do that again. So Carol, this is how you use your glue dots. So I'm going to take, okay, where are my glue dots? I had them out. Glue dots. Hang on, you guys. Oh, there they are. Okay, so I'm going to take out my glue dots and I'll just stick one here like that, okay? Then I'm going to put my ribbon on here just to anchor it, okay? And then I'm going to start wrapping my ribbon. Back to the front. Okay, and so now I will put another glue dot down here. So it really helps to have some kind of a pokey tool. Stick that down and take my scissors and snip it. Okay, so there you have a bit of ribbon embellishment on there. Any more comments we're seeing? Those poppy pods look great. Love the contrast. Looks 3D. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Pretty cool. Okay, now this could be a focal image. Well, it is your focal image, so I might pop this up. You know, here's some other ideas. If you want, this looks maybe a bit lost. We could back this with another piece of a coordinating color. So I might pull out maybe the bumblebee. So let's try that. So it's 2.5 by 3 1/4. Let me get some bumblebee cardstock. And my trimmer. So I want to make it just 1/8 bigger. So I always just go to 2.5, or sorry, 2.5, and then go to the next 1/8 of an inch. Okay. Actually, a little bit more than that. Yeah, 1/8, not a 16th. Okay. And cut that, and then go to 3 1/4. And then go over 2 lines. Like that. So that's how I work out my layering pieces. I just, you know, go to the original measurement and then back it up. Not back it up, move it forward to make it a bit bigger. Yeah, I think that looks a bit better with a layer on there. So I'm going to glue this on here. This layer maybe could have been a bit darker, maybe the early espresso, don't know. Yeah, I think it's going to be okay. All right, so now I'm going to put dimensionals on here. I want to pop this up. So now when I have kind of a larger piece like this one is, I always put a couple of dimensionals in the middle so that it doesn't, you know, bow in the middle, okay? And then we're going to take these backings off, but I'm not going to stick this down yet because I want to work out, I'm not going to stick it down yet. I want to work out where my flags are going to go, okay? So let's take a look at our flags. So I think I want this one in the center. Now, they're just a little bit up from the bottom, so we can definitely trim these down. Let me just pull out this tiny little trimmer here. I'm going to cut this down. They don't need to be that long. Okay, so I'm going to glue one in the center, the largest one in the center. So let's just, I'll just put a piece down the center like that. Okay, and then we'll put two like this. Okay, you want these varying heights, and you want them to overlap, I think. So there's one, and then here's the other one. I'm going to do it like that. Okay, and then this will go on top. So I've got my ribbon element, and I've got my flags, and I've got my centerpiece up here. And there's your card. Now, if you wanted to, you could put a sentiment down at the bottom, or you could put a sentiment across the top here if you wanted to have your greeting on there. Happy birthday, and then you could do something on the inside. You could even add a bit of a circular thing there if you wanted to, with another stamped image maybe. And maybe it needs a happy birthday in the center there. Now I have in one of my stamp sets, I don't know if I can pull it out right now, but I'll show you a card I made. I finished this card off this morning. So I have a stamp set that has this fantastic cutout that says happy birthday. So if you have some kind of a die to cut this out, so I might use that, you know, once the video's over, I might just cut that out and put it right in the middle. I've got some masculine birthdays coming up, so I might just do a happy birthday on there in a dark color. So that's another idea for you. And so let's just move these inked bits away so I don't get ink on my card. And let's put in our, where's our centerpiece? That hair off the table. Now, normally I don't really like my ribbon on the inside, but because it's fully wrapped, it's not taped down or anything, it looks okay, I think. But another idea, what you could have done is you could have created another layer, a thin layer, as your first layer on the card, then cut this piece to fit on there, and then you could wrap the ribbon around and then stick it down to your card so that you don't have this on the back. But I think it's okay. And now that I look at this card, I think I should have used maybe very vanilla cardstock instead of this white. It's nice to have very vanilla in your card basics supplies. So let's get this centered in here. I always center at the bottom. I don't care necessarily about the top, at the bottom. I can easily see the bottom and the two sides. There you go. Okay. And then you want to remember, I don't always do this, but remember to burnish that adhesive into the cardstock. So you don't need a lot of adhesive, right? Just make sure you burnish it. Barbara, love the stamp set. Yeah, I think it's a great stamp set. If you go on Pinterest and look it up, it's called Enjoy the Moment. There are so many really cool cards. But like I said, it was so funny because we were doing this virtual event. They're all virtual now. We're not traveling anywhere, of course. And so I had my team members. I have 8 members. And we were on another chat while we were going through this whole virtual event. And then we were making cards and stuff. And when we were all chatting about the stamp set. And they were all saying, oh my God, we got this free stamp set. It's kind of the ugliest one we've ever had. And we were all saying we really didn't like it. But in the end, oh my God, once you start seeing, there's so many creative people out there. Once you start seeing people playing with a stamp set, all of a sudden you go, oh, you know what? I really like that. So it does have a happy birthday. Friendship is found in simple things. I love that. And of course, enjoy the moment. That's what we have to do these days, is just enjoy the moment and not fret about how it was in the past or how it might be in the future. Just enjoy the moment you're in right now. As long as you're happy and healthy, just enjoy the moment, and good things are worth waiting. Yeah, good things are worth waiting for. That's what we're waiting for. That's what we're waiting for. The good things to come back again. So there you go. There is your card. I hope you enjoyed this morning's video. And I can just quickly, we've got lots of time left. I'm going to quickly show you some other cards that I've been making lately. I've been working with another stamp set with roses, and they have these die cuts. So I made this really old-fashioned looking card. These beautiful roses. So there's 3 different layers of cutouts for the roses that I did, and there's 2 layers on the leaves. Can you see the detail in that? And excuse me. Yeah, this was a lot of work, but it was fun to make. So that would be a nice anniversary card. Oh, gee, Carol, I should have sent that one to you, but I just finished making it now. Okay, so that's one I made. And then I've been playing with another stamp set called Circle Celebration. It's been a lot of fun. I think I showed you all the circle cards that I made. I did and so this one, again, this is a great one-sheet wonder. So you have all these different kinds of circles, and you can do them up in different colors. And then create, cards with them. I'll pull those out to show you. I'm not sure if I showed those to you or not. Hang on, I'm coming. So these are all the cards. So this was a one-sheet wonder. So again, 8.5 by 11 sheet of white. And then I just randomly stamped all the circles all over it. And then I did a whole bunch of different cuts. And I made all these cards. Isn't that fun? It's kind of a fast way to get some designer series paper on your cards. And then this one I actually embossed. I did some embossing on quite a few of these. These were so much fun to make. This is embossed in the back. A lot of them are stuck up on dimensionals. This was a little label with some embossing in the back. And then look at this one. This was all the scraps that were left over. And then I just took these thin scraps and then I just quickly stamped some of the circle images on top and made that card. Yeah, these were lots of fun. So I made all those from one sheet that I had stamped. So you should try that. Just pull out a stamp set that's got lots of little stamps in it, large and small stamps, and make yourself a one-sheet wonder. I showed this to you earlier. I just finished this one this morning, another rose one. These were just stamped, and these I actually embossed in white embossing powder. What else have I got here? Oh, here's another circle card. All these cards are waiting to get their insides finished, and so here's another circle card. I decided just to do the peacock what was this called? Pretty Peacock and Night of Navy. And there's that happy birthday again with some of the matching ribbon. Yeah, so I have to finish these cards, the insides and the envelopes. So yeah, I've been creating a lot. Well, I'm always creating, you know that. And then I did these cards too. This was another great stamp set. This was called Brushed Blooms. It's the same stamp set that these roses are in. It's called Brushed Blooms. So I made all of these cards. I think these were in my last, I think I showed these in my last blog post, I think. Can't remember now. Yeah, but those were a lot of fun. So that's all I have for you today. And just to let you know, there's a brand new stamp set coming out. It's all about butterflies. Now, often I think, oh my gosh, do we need more butterflies? And then every time they come out with these surprising butterflies. And this is going to be a fabulous, fabulous set. So on Monday, I think I'll do my card sketch using that card, and I'm going to create a class out of that stamp set. So I have to get busy making my card samples for a class that I will have in March. So thanks everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed this morning. And again, make a card, take a photo, post it in the comments section. And yeah, because I love seeing what you make. And I love that you're picking up some tips from me. So have a super week, and we'll see you next Monday. Thanks, everyone. Bye for now.